We run the numbers. Does it meet the requirement that we need? And then make the decision. So you can play in the commercial space where you see people who have you drive by shopping center or even like a grocery store shopping center, right? That's an investment. We're going to a grocery store, but the people who own that, it's a commercial shopping center for grocery store and like 5 other stores. That's also investment. So there are so many different ways to invest in real estate. So we have to figure out, what works for you and what's your strategy that matches what you want to do.
What would you say is like the difference between an investor and a developer?
I guess I would say everyone's definition is different. But for me, I see real estate and an investor. There's so many different ways to invest in real estate. Say it like that first, right? So I guess I would say, to me, a developer, in my mind, is more like the new construction ground up. But because you're both visionaries, right? There's different level of complexities. If it's existing single family home that needs to be rehabbed, for example, you're going to still have the vision of doing renovations and making that unit nice. Also, too, if the property is functional, you have the vision of finding the right tenant and optimizing property management and creating cash flow. But then, new construction, it's the built environment. It's not there yet. So you can't see the building. You might see some drawings later on from the architect, but it's a lot more visionary insight, zoning insight, I believe, with being a developer versus a traditional investor might buy an existing building. So there's a little more complexity.
Gotcha.
But the theories are still the same as far as that you still have to run your numbers, right? So when I meet people who own properties now, who want to get to new construction development, I always say, okay, let's go back to the fundamental theories of investing, right? All we're doing is adding more numbers or maybe adding more zeros or a little more formulas, but the theory is the same, right? We run the numbers. Does it meet the requirement that we need? And then make the decision. But also, too, for new construction versus existing, it's going to take longer, right? So you do want to get more data before you make a decision to make sure that your estimates are as best as possible, because by the time you're done, your comps are not the comps anymore, the rent's not the rent anymore. So it is a lot more challenging for that versus if you're doing a existing rehab, you can be kind of spot on where the rents will be at by the time you're done in 2 or 3 months versus a year and a half in new construction.
Gotcha. And you mentioned a while ago that there's different types of investments. Share a little bit more about that. Like, what do you see as the different types of investment opportunities?
So it can be there's short-term rental, from different sites from Airbnb, VRBO. There's also buy and hold, where it's a already functional property, and your design is to just purchase it and put a renter in there, or keep the existing renter. There's the BRRRR strategy: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. And that entails doing a rehab, putting the tenant inside, refinancing it, keeping it as a cash flow property. There's fix and flip, which is then you're going to rehab the property and then sell it. Then there's new construction, there's ground up construction. So there are different, like I said, there's shopping centers, right? So you can play in the commercial space where you see people who you drive by a shopping center or even like a grocery store anchored shopping center, right? That's an investment. We're going to a grocery store, but the people who own that, it's a commercial shopping center for grocery store and like 5 other stores. That's also investment. So there are so many different ways to invest in real estate. So we have to figure out, what works for you and what's your strategy that matches what you want to do.